Welcome to the shop, my friends. Today we're going to take my specialized S-Works and make it a little more specialized. Let's get to it. So this is the plan. I've got a few bits that are specialized specific that I want to install on the bike instead of what we currently have. First off being, I'm going to install these specialized strong arm cranks. A specialized seat post as opposed to the Ritchie seat post. Of course, I need to change a bottom bracket because it's a splined crank set. I'm going to put some specialized clipless pedals, and then I have these S-Works grips that in my mind seem really small. I hope I can make them fit. But that's the plan. Something really simple to just take this specialized S-Works dentist bike and make it a little more specialized. Yeah, so crank sets are going, and pedals, seat post, and then grips. First off, let's get these pedals off. And then the cranks. For the non-drive side, the rotation is standard to install. It's clockwise. To remove is counterclockwise. The drive side's threading is opposite, so that when you pedal, it doesn't loosen the bottom bracket. So this one, to loosen, I'm going to go clockwise. And this is standard when you're talking typically about mountain bikes. The threading is always this way. Now, some bottom brackets on other bikes, road bikes, some of them have a different threading, but for mountain bikes you're almost always going to run into this style of threading of the bottom bracket. Before I install the strong arm crank arms, I want to see what the weight comparison change is going to be. So the cranks themselves, we got 25.05 ounces. I should include the bracket bolts, so 25.95, and then with the bottom bracket is 34 ounces, 34.7 ounces, 34.7. Okay, let's see what the strong arm cranks are. So these have self-extracting bolts in them. 27 ounces so far. With the bottom bracket, we're looking at 35.9 ounces. So we're going, that's 1.2 ounces heavier. 1.2 ounces heavier. But it's going to be specialized. Let's see also on the pedals. So first off, the Shimano pedals are 13.15 ounces. 13.15. Specialized pedals come in at 12.75 ounces. So looking at 0.4 ounces lighter on the pedals. That makes up a little bit for the cranks. Okay, let's start with a little grease. And grease these threads. Now it's reverse threaded. And again, this side is standard, so I can install by rotating clockwise. I'll go counterclockwise to catch the threads, and then forward. Now, like I mentioned, these have self-extracting bottom bracket bolts. So these bolts rotate inside, and to extract, instead of using the tool I use to extract on the square taper bottom bracket, these I can just rotate. These cups on the outside hold on the inside and slowly pull it off. So to pull it on, it's the same way. I just tighten these down. Then for the drive side, I want to make sure the chain will be on. I'll just put it on the outside. I want to make sure I'm 90 degrees to the crank arm with the spline bottom bracket. And tighten it in. Before I install the pedals, I've put a little bit of grease on each one, and pedals are side specific. So we've got a right side and a left side. The right side, the threads are standard and you'll rotate forward. The left side, you'll rotate forward also, but they're reverse threaded. And so from the non-drive side, it'll be a counterclockwise motion to install. So right side, rotate forward, and it's a clockwise motion from looking at it forward. So forward, clockwise rotation. Now the left-hand side, the threading direction from the drive side is the same. It's clockwise, but if you look at it from the non-drive side, that direction is counterclockwise and it threads forward. The reason for this is to keep the threads to keep the pedals from coming undone while you're pedaling. You actually tighten as you pedal. And push forward. Next, because we changed the crank, I've got to make sure that the alignment with the front derailleur is still good and still the same. Because cranks do not necessarily, with different bottom brackets and different cranks, do not necessarily have the same location for the chain rings. The outside chain ring on this one is the same size as the XT that I took off. So that's good, so I don't need to change the placement of the derailleur up and down. But I do need to verify that it will shift up to the top, which it does, and shift back down. Before I go into the bottom gear, I'm going to go, okay, so I'm not quite dropping all the way here. There we go. Let me go up. So I'm almost touching here, so that looks really quite good. Here in the middle, we'll drop this down a little bit. And go to so that's looking pretty good. Next, let's swap these grips. So the Ori grips with the lock-on ends and end caps, looking 4.5 ounces, not light grips. And these S-Works rubber grips, 2 ounces. So we're saving 2.5 ounces by doing these, which makes up more than enough for the crank difference. Okay, before I stick this on, I am going to stick a nickel in, just like I do with my Ori grips. A nickel is almost exactly the size of the handlebar end, and will cap the handlebar inside these soft grips and just protect it from breaking through the rubber. So I've got it down inside. Now I'm just gonna straighten it out on the end inside the grip. And I'm ready to install. Okay, put the nickel in, get it set. And last but not least, the seat post. So first I'm gonna take this down. Take this out. This is a nice vintage Ritchie seat post. One of the things I like about these seat posts, you can just turn the top clamp perpendicular and it just comes right out, right off the saddle. Super easy. Okay, let's see before we get the new one, how heavy the old one was. See if I can get it on there. So 9.5 ounces on the old, and the new 9.15 ounces. So this seat post, even though it's a little longer, is lighter still. So that's cool. We'll just set it loose for now, but snug. Prior to installing a seat post, I like to put a little bit of grease. You can either grease the seat post or you can grease the inside of the seat tube. I think inside of the seat tube is way easier and cleaner. Now I like to set my saddles So kind of level on the top. That looks about right. All right, and that's a wrap on this one. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think this is better than the setup before with the XT cranks and the Ori grips and the Ritchie seat post? Or is this more specialized? I'm not sure. I'm on the fence. I do like the black cranks. I like the black seat post. Maybe a black Chris King headset now and maybe a black stem would help tie it more in together. Maybe a black water bottle cage. We still have the polished aluminum on the front fork. But yeah, I hope this was enjoyable for you guys. Thanks for following along with me again on these builds. I quite like this Specialized S-Works. It's a classic XC bike. It's a beautiful part of my collection, and it was fun to try to make it a little more specialized today. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look for opportunities to give those old things new life, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao. So as a note, I'm not gonna go ride this. I have a bum knee. While working on the bumper for the truck, I hit my knee pretty bad with a hammer, and it is messed up. So I'm not riding for a little while, but enjoy the beauty of the bike.